moving on to this last example for this section of the video. All right, so this time you can see that our b value is 1/2. So again, if we calculate what the period is based on that little formula that I told you to memorize, we would have p equals 360 divided by 1/2. And that's the same as 360 times 2, so that would be 720 degrees. And you can see that that is now an expansion, because not only is b between 0 and 1, you can see that it's much larger than 360 degrees. Same kind of process here. If I multiply by the reciprocal, is the same thing as multiplying by 2. So all these values here are multiplied by 2. So we have 180, we have 360, 540, and finally 720. And again, notice that it matches what we calculated. So again, it's a matter of, it's a matter of making our axes, and I'm going to pause for that so you don't have to watch me do that. And if you notice, I have that here. And now again, these values are going to go along the x-axis. So we have 180. Oops, that's going to be way too thick. So the hardest part, I think, of when I have an expansion is fitting all the numbers in when you have, I have to get to 720. Now, if you notice, obviously I've used 1/2. If I use 1/3, obviously my number is going to be even larger. Usually we don't, in practicality, choose numbers that are larger than, for instance, 1/3, because it's much harder to graph. Okay, notice we're adding 180 each time, so you could keep on going. And this would be -180. This would be -360. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at, I have a displacement of +3, so we need a line at +3. So I'm going to put my dotted line there. And my amplitude is 1. So I go up 1, so at 4 and at 2. And the coast normally starts at the top and works down. Because it's negative, it's going to start at the bottom and work up. So I'm going to do that in red again. So it's going to start at the bottom. And again, as I said, it really doesn't look any different than any other graph that we've done so far. The only difference really is on the x-axis. And my pen doesn't want to go up where I want it to go. Okay, so again, if I draw this as smooth as I can, really not too much difference. The only time that it looks different is if I actually put the normal coast graph, negative coast graph, and what would happen is it would be like this, because there's 360, and that would be 1 period. So you can see that it's been expanded quite a bit. All right, so that has that question finished, and so you're going to be doing some more graphing and reading equations.